Y bueno, ya sin más preámbulos y avisos, quiero invitar al Estado Humberto Guillén, gerente de producto de Construlita, a que nos acompañe a presentar a nuestro siguiente expositor. Sin antes, darte nuevamente las gracias por todo el apoyo, Humberto, a nombre de la marca y de manera muy personal a ti por el liderazgo con todo el equipo que tienes detrás tuyo. Muchísimas gracias.
No, muchas gracias a ustedes y esta sinergia que hemos hecho ya de un par de años, creo que cada vez es más estrecha y me da muchísimo gusto encontrar a todo el grupo que va a participar. Pues yo hoy tengo el honor de poderles presentar a nuestra siguiente ponente, Mónica Luz Lobo. Mónica Luz es una destacada arquitecta y diseñadora de iluminación de Brasil, fundadora de LD Studios y bueno, está obviamente la participación de este estudio es con sede en Río de Janeiro. Además ha sido muy influyente desde 1987. Ha recibido numerosos premios por su trabajo, incluyendo the Illumination Award of Excellence y el Wingfoot Memorial Award. Es cofundadora además de la Asociación Brasileña de Arquitectos de Iluminación y ha sido presidenta del International Association of Lighting Designers. Además, diseñadora certificada desde 2016. Denle un aplauso a Mónica Luz Lobo.
Gracias, Humberto. Gracias por la invitación. Es un honor y un placer estar con ustedes. Como Humberto ha dicho, soy brasileña, entonces hablo portugués. Ahora estoy intentando hablar portuñol, pero creo que para que todos entiendan lo que voy a decir, he aprendido con mis colegas hispanoparlantes que es más fácil para el hispanoparlante de entender inglés que portugués. Entonces voy a hablar en inglés. Mi deseo es que un día toda la gente hable en tu propia lengua y que todos se entiendan bien. Tal vez a inteligencia artificial para resolver este problema. Entonces, vamos a empezar. La idea es de hablar de cómo que... Gracias. De cómo que el diseño de iluminación... teclas up para English. So, how the lighting design is a collaborative practice, you know. So, the idea here was to talk about of my process, because I think that to have a good collaboration, it needs a process. It's a learning process. It's always learn. And what I think is, I want to share to you some of my experience through my whole history of the practice on the studio, and to share with you what was my understanding and my learning about collaboration. So starting from the first beginning in 1999, we have the opportunity to work in a lighting design of a church in Rio. That was a very beautiful small church, but with all the Baroque style. And for us, that we just have 2 years of the practice, was a big challenge because we have never worked on lighting a church. But we embraced the challenge, and of course, we have tried to know how we can learn from people that are much more knowledgeable than we are. So we begin to go to the library of the IES, Illuminating Engineering Society, and we read all this practice that talks about how you do the lighting of a church, and we start to have more confidence to do that. And we start thinking on how we can develop tools. Because at that time, 1999 in Brazil, it was difficult to have specific lighting fixtures that could be like mimetized in the architectural of the church, because we want people to see and experience the light, but not find the church, the source. So we developed a family of fixtures that really integrates with the detailing of the church. Very simple fixtures, but with some kind of anti-glare things that we can play. So we had the chance to win an award in this first church, and that was a kind of a recognition and reassurance that we are in the right path, you know. So it's like the understanding that you can take risk if you have the responsibility to find a way to do the right thing. So this was really important at the beginning of our career. And after that, we have the opportunity to do the lighting of a lot of churches. From 2002 to 2015, we have worked in 5 or 6 other churches, and it was interesting because the learning experience of this first one serves to us to understand how to reveal the architecture of the church with the symbolic thing that it's important to experience in that spaces. And this was something that I think that has shaped our office, you know, because from the first beginning and to a long period, we have worked with this kind of intangible thing of the light, that you can express something more than just review the architecture. And this is to show that at that time we used this kind of tools, you know, to come up with the balance that we need in all the skin of the church, because we really want to give a kind of hierarchy to the space, and it's important to have this kind of how can I say, technical mathematical approach for us to have this kind of result. And of course we use the dimmer, but we need to assure that the balance is there even if we don't have the dimmer. And in this adventure to light up churches, one special one that we have the opportunity to work with was this Igreja da Pampulha from Oscar Niemeyer. That is a project from 1944, but it's still actual and modern. And when the first meeting on the site that I saw the process and all this understanding that they are going to rediscover these masterpieces, it kind of came to me as, oh, this is a very important responsibility. I have now in my hand the ability to review that to the public. And we start to use another tool that it calls Lightscape. It's a software that can reproduce the distribution of the light, but with a very, how can I say, very equity result. And we start to understand the volumes and how we can integrate the light again, where you don't see the source, but you can see the atmosphere and the beautiful architecture. And we played a lot to understand what would be the best solution to combine wall washing through the poles in the area, the part area of the church. And now I have this moment that I will share to you that in our careers and in my career, this was the first crisis, was in 2008, because in 2006, my partner, my business partner, wanted to leave the practice, and I stayed alone, and then I reviewed and reinvented the first time that I reinvented at the studio, and an architect that was working with me, I named her as a coordinator, and she starts to work with me collaboratively, but in a kind of, how can I say, primitive way. And in 2008, Daniele, that was my coordinator, wants to move to Bahia. It's a very remote place in Bahia, and I lose my ground. You know, it's like, what I would do now? I'm alone again, and I started to turn on my antenna, that I think it's very important for everyone to understand how you can open your mind and find ways to rebalance what the crisis is. And it was interesting because I saw an interview of that David Lynch was going to Brazil to launch two facilities to promote meditation, transcendental meditation. And I found it very interesting. I think maybe this is the way. And I found very interesting that if David Lynch can meditate, I can. And then I take this book and read it very, very intensively. And this was the beginning of my understanding of the idea of how we can make contact with the project as a strong idea, as a concept. And later on I will explain better. But this part of the book that I will let you read, and then I will read with you, have a very big impact on me on that. Have the same impact as I do, but I will read with you. The idea is a whole thing. By staying true to the idea, you get to know everything you want to know, truly. You just need to keep working to make the idea look like what it seems to be. Feel like it feels, sound like it sounds, and be what it is. This is very strange, because when you got off the course, you quickly realize it. You know when you've done something wrong. It feels wrong. It's as if it says, no, isn't what the idea said it was. And when you do it right, you can feel that it's right. It's intuition. You feel and think during the process. So that was something that really touched my heart and made me feel how important it is to be very faithful for your idea. And another thing that I found very interesting in this book is that if you want to catch a small fish, you can stay shallow water. But if you want to have a big fish, you need to go in deep water. So this is something that I think that I took for my life from that moment on. And we caught a very big fish. And this is a project that we have done in Rio, that is the Museum of Tomorrow. That is downtown Rio, and it's a project from Colaborativa. And it was another challenge in a very different scale. You know, it's a big scale with an international architectural, very important studio. And we have to come up with something to communicate with that. And it was interesting because at that time, we began this project in 2011. We don't have this kind of, how can I say, easy way of doing online meetings. So we used Skype at that time, and we had to be very organized to understand how we can come up with drawings that say what we want to ask and what we want to suggest, and send them. And then, because Skype had very limited resources to share things, and we can go on in this way. And that was a real challenge, because most of the body of this building was concrete, so we can't do things wrong. We can't place a fixture in a right way, in a wrong way, because it's concrete. So it was a really challenge, and it was really important to have the collaboration of the architect and the people in the construction site to make things happen in a good way. We run a lot of calculations to make sure that we're going to achieve the lighting levels or the light distribution that we think that was appropriated and in the high level of this project. And we have worked in the macro and micro thing in this project, because we was responsible to do the lighting of the building, but as well in the museography. So we work in a very detailed way. We do a lot of mock-ups to try to have the light distribution with no glare, and the mixture of the colors that went right. And it was a big collaborative work with the team and the people of the scenography. It was really interesting. And because of Museum of Tomorrow, we have been invited to do the lighting of the cranes that is just beside the Museum of Tomorrow. It becomes very interesting, because what can I do to do a lighting of a crane? And it was, I don't know if you were aware of, but this area of Rio was really redeveloped for the Olympics. And we had this kind of a very big highway, elevated highway, that was exploded. And this area was really in a very good energy development. And it was interesting, because at that time I found a kind of a hint that maybe I can use my emotional memory to come up with something that relates and adds a kind of a difference in lighting the cranes. So it was my experience when I was a little girl to take this elevated highway and see the cranes, where when I went to have a very nice weekend with the family in the hills of Rio. So that cranes at that time seemed to me like transformers, you know, like huge creatures. And I take that with me, and we developed this lighting scheme that we reviewed the structure, but we add this opportunity to have the color pulsing and the changing that gives life to the creature. And this is a very important turning point, and I think that connects with the subject of this presentation. And I think that it's really important that you see that from 1997 to 2017, this is 20 years, I feel that I was alone, you know, like I was in my office, I had people working with me, but to me it feels like that I was alone. And at that time, I was in a crisis, the second one, and I think I'm not happy, and I don't feel that people that work with me is happy. So I think I need to do something about it. And I thought to invite Diana Jules, that is here, a very good friend and a very special person that have the ability to develop dynamics that transforms complex things in very simple things. And we have worked together to find a way to reinvent the process in an LD studio. So it was really nice because I now link this experience with Diana with the impact that I had in the book of David Lynch. That the idea is really important. When Diana come to us and share with us her understanding of a good process to give people the opportunity to collaborate well. And that's what I would like to emphasize here in this presentation. That it's really important to be open to collaborate, but it's really important to have a process as well. Otherwise, you just be confused, you know. So Diana has do that with us, and we come up with a workshop that make all the team understand how the importance of have the process of analysis in a project, then a concept, and then the light composition. And this was really enlightening for us all. And we had the opportunity to materialize this idea in a project that is a temporary intervention in a building in Rio that was just at the finish of the Boulevard Olympics. And I thought, yeah, that would be a good chance for us to test this process with the whole team and engage them in a, how can I say, in a very charming and it's a different kind of project, you know, that is not just architecture. It's a kind, you're going to bring a message with your work. So we engage all the team, and Diana has divided all the groups to work in the historic side, the idea of the views, and everyone gets individually to search for that, and then we come together to understand what we could come up with the challenge that we just have 30 days to work in this concept and realization. So everyone was really passionate with it. We worked intensively, and we have this kind of synergy, you know, it was magical. And everyone was happy that they can really know how to think of the project deeply, understand concept, and then make it happen, you know, in a very short time. And it was interesting because the idea here is that this building, that is an architecture of Norman Foster, that has the lighting from Ginta Pachaus that is here, and this was just a temporary intervention. Casa Cor, that is a kind of interior architecture intervention, has invited us to interfere in the facade just for the event. And we understood that this building was just like in the finish of the good energy that the Boulevard Olympic has get into Rio. So the idea was that this building was like they're getting the energy of the Boulevard Olympics. They throw it from the building, and then came at the other back of the building flourishing. So the idea is that we kept the energy and made the other area that was not developed yet flourish. And then another very good example of this kind of collaboration and how you can make things that is like every day in a different way. So I had the opportunity that a client, a very good client that I have worked for 20 years in developing shopping malls, has invited us to develop his house and his dream house. And this for me is a compliment, you know, because if you have someone that worked with you in the commercial buildings for such a long time and give you the chance to like his dream house, I think that this is really great. But what we have told me is that he took 7 years to develop this dream house, and the house was complete. So I will work in a house that is already built, you know. So, and he presented me that in this trajectory of understanding what it would be the aesthetics of his house, he found this philosophy that is wabi-sabi, that he found that translates what he wants to experience in his house. So that is the importance of the imperfect and the incomplete and the simple things and the essence. And with all of that, I found, again, that it's another opportunity to bring together the whole team, because it's not easy to do that in the day-by-day practice. But this is a special project. We're going to find a way to engage everyone to work in this project. So I bought a book for everyone in the practice, and I said, study wabi-sabi, because we need to translate what is wabi-sabi lights in on light. So we dare to offer the client that if the house is finished, we want to experience the house. So we want to spend a night in your house testing and understanding how we're going to really give you the best wabi-sabi light. So we spend this experience in the house with the whole team and the client the other day, and do the tests and things like that to understand how we can bring this together. Just to say to you, and I want to emphasize that from 2017 and beyond, my practice in my office and with the people and partners that work with me have really enhanced with this idea that it's important to have a process and embrace this process. But sometimes you have to manage, you know, and this project that we have invited to work with, the lighting of the facade of Copacabana Palace Hotel, Belmont Hotel, they invited us with a very short time, 1 year and 6 months. That looks like that is a lot, but it's not. When you think that you're working in a building that is protected by the heritage, and it is a hotel that needs a lot of logistics to understand how you're going to do the work and the tests and everything. And we have to come up with a solution and forgot all the process that I've learned with Diana, and because we need to make it happen in a render of the architecture to be approved by the London team and the people from the hotel. And it was really fast from the first contact to the opening. The first contact was in March, and the opening was in August the other year. And in between, I went to Life Fair, and it was interesting because I think to myself that we don't have in Brazil the right fixtures to understand how we can give life to this facade, but if you don't see the source, you know. So I had this chance or lucky to find a very good manufacturer in Life Fair, and it was a kind of I want to rely on you, I need you, and but we have a challenge, you know, and we developed a kind of a strategy to do tests and mock-ups in the facade. And the understanding of the concept and what we want to share and to show in the facade come with the trajectory, you know. The idea and the understanding that we want to review this iconic building that is in the heart of Cariocas, with the whole glamour and with the whole majesty that they have, but with this idea that it's still relevant, you know. It has 100 years, but it's still modern, and with the technology and these dynamic possibilities, the idea is that the building communicates with the city and with people, you know. So we developed a lot of scenes that give this kind of messages and engage the people and the Cariocas to connect with this special building. And one of the ideas of this concept was that this could be a very good marketing tool. So it was interesting because they made a partnership with a big bank in Brazil, that is Itaú, and they would like to, they has sponsored Madonna show in Rio, and the hotel was a big screen in the, like, the filming of the show, and Itaú would like to have the orange in the facade, and so we work with the team to get this orange. It took us kind of 2 hours and a half to find the right orange, but we were able to deliver. So it's important to see how we can go beyond in the ideas of our projects, and took the lighting and the idea of the power of light to much more people than just people that really involved with lighting. And we go beyond, and here I want to share with you something that it's a very new project. We are working from like 6 months, but it's now opening some parts. But what is to go beyond in collaboration? So we have been invited to work in this condominium that is a big condominium in Preá, Ceará. It's a very beautiful beach in Fortaleza. And it was really nice that we were able, it's the kite paradise, and we were able to work in a project that sometimes relates with our thinking, you know, that it's really something that we agree with and integrate in our thinking. So they would like to understand the historical roots. The project starts with people, that is very important to us, and they want to minimize the ecological impact. So this was really something that we understand, that we agree on. And we come up with this concept that is visible darkness, like escuridão visível. It's like the essential light in harmony with nature. It's the idea that we can see in the darkness. And with that in mind, and always we have an urgent demand, the client asks us to develop one site that is one lake of the condominium here, Lake 9, and they want this space to work as a sales space. And again, we just have 30 days to come up with a solution and the thing finished and there. We understood and come up with this idea to light up from the parking until the area of the living space here, and here is the bathroom. And we thought it has to be simple, it has to be very easy for them to develop there in the northeast of Brazil. So we took a little research to understand the materials and how we can develop special fixtures for there. And we come up with these sketches that we send to the people that will develop. But we understood that this kind of sketches, it's something that we understand, but people that works in the field does not have the same, how can I say, understanding. And we say to the client, I think we need to be there, you know, in order to make things happen, and that works, you know. So we convince the client to send us to the field, and it was incredible because when I arrived there and I see all this beauty, I really understood that intellectual exercise that we have done to come up with this concept of visible darkness, it's really needed, you know, because everything that we made, or I do, of lighting in this kind of space, in this beauty, it's going to disturb that. So it was really nice to experience and understand that. But we went there in a hot summer with a lot of sand, with a lot of wind, and nothing, just containers and us. And we really were lucky to have this idea, because when you send a sketch like that, and I want these pendants on the tree, but which kind, where in the tree I'm going to hang these pendants, you know? So it's something that is not easy for people that works in construction. So it was really important that we were there to work. And of course, we get stuck in the sand, so we have the whole experience. And this is interesting because the bathroom that I showed to you in the good sketch was not in our scope of work, and they put this kind of LED panel, and we say, oh, this will destroy all the ambience that we're going to create here. We can't let this happen, you know. So we come up with, oh, let's take the garbage, the beautiful garbage, and put it that we can arrange something to make that more in the space, you know. And this kind of connections has made it us to reflect and had an idea, and this statement that the development manager has told us that we had come up with a delightful low-cost solution with great impact. So we thought that would be a very good idea. So again, we invite Diana, person that always has this ability to make things work and develop good dynamics when involve people and how to engage people. And we offer the client to build a workshop that could engage the architects of the project, us, the artisans, the local artisans, and the architects of the clients to work together to come up with special developed design fixtures for the project. So I think that this is collaboration. You know, it's find a way in your own practice, in your own projects, how can I engage more people for the overall result, my result, and people that will experience the space feel that is special. So we come up with this idea that we would like to offer a social transformation. We want to promote the exchange of knowledge, to have unique products, to give identity to the client. And of course, we thought that was really important to give the client an idea of savings, you know. So we developed in advance of this workshop a bollard that has a lot of quantities in the whole condominium, and we make a comparison between the cost of a similar fixture in the market with wood and ceramics, like the same materials, and the one developed on site. And it's amazing, the number, you know. So I made the math yesterday. I think it's 3,500,000 pesos, the savings, 990 reals. So the client was convinced that he will keep an extra step in the desire of the project to give something back to the community and to have a positive impact and not destroy the nature, and will have savings economically as well. And we had experience. The first part of the workshop was a kind of exchange of knowledge. So the artisans showed their practice, their work. We show them that fixtures or a lamp or a pennon is just not an object, it's a tool to light a space. So it was a good interchanging of knowledge. And it was really successful. And then in our office, we connect those sketches that we developed in that 2 days of workshops with the needs of the project. And then we send the drawings, and this is the second visit that we went there, just with the prototypes and understanding what we need to evolve and things like that. It was really good. And they have an institute. The client is developing an institute, and the idea is that they're going to pay the artisans the cost of the fixture, and will improve their how can I say, they will win these things. But the idea is that the client will have a store in the condominium that will sell fixtures, and at that time, when they sell the fixtures, we have a fee that goes to this institute that for the development of the artisans. So the idea is to increase the positive impact on that. And this is to show one part of this condominium that is open. And this bridge was a kind of a statement to say that we really want a visible darkness. And to finalize that, I would like to share the project of my life, that is my practice. And it's interesting because when you begin to develop an office, you don't know where you're going to be in years ahead. And it's something that you evolve, you know, and 20 years and now 27 years of practice, LD Studio, I don't know where it starts, LD Studio, or starts Monica and so forth, you know. So now I understand that is the time to understand how can I embrace all the things that is something of myself and the contribution of everybody that has worked in LD Studio that influence strongly what LD Studio is today. And we are now thinking on how to consolidate the idea of what LD Studio really is, you know. Again, connecting with David Lynch. You have to have a strong idea and understanding of what you are to communicate better for the people and your client. So we are developing a communication plan. And now we have this idea that LD Studio will illuminate beyond light. And why beyond light? Because we want more than a beautiful picture of something that is perfect. We want to enchant people. We want to be happy, make people happy, and do what we love to do. And this is the team of LD Studio. This is brilliant people that we work together. And the idea of this presentation is to share with you. And I think, I hope that I could send this message that collaboration begins from the inside. So look at your practice, look at your community and partnership, and exercise this openness, this structure, you know. Understand what could be your process and practice it. So I would like to thank you. Gracias.
Mónica, muchísimas gracias, y pues quisiera invitarte, aprovechemos que tenemos los sillones, ¿no?, a pasar aquí. Tengo una serie de preguntas que me hicieron favor de compartir. Seguramente habrá algunas otras preguntas por allá, pero pues justamente el hecho de que si hay preguntas que se queden es para que también aprovechen y que tenemos otras actividades, otros tiempos, otros momentos, pues para hacerte las preguntas directamente. Entonces, por favor, acérquense. Y me da la impresión que las preguntas vienen principalmente de estudiantes.
¡Qué bueno!
¡Qué bueno! Sí. Y te preguntan, dice, en proyectos muy funcionales, ¿creas un concepto o solo resuelves las necesidades del proyecto? ¿Cómo abordas un proyecto así?
Voy a intentar hablar portuñol. Muy buena pregunta. Como he dicho, en el ejemplo de Copacabana Palace, no hay tiempo de hacer el concepto. Entonces, a veces tenemos que hacer lo que tenemos que hacer, pero siempre con esta mirada de que ¿qué puedo aportar? ¿Qué puedo hacer que no sea solo el normal? Siempre hay una posibilidad de hacer algo más. Lo creo que esto es una actitud, es alguna cosa que lo creo que es una motivación. Y esto es muy importante porque esto puede ser personal, pero no creo cómo se puede trabajar sin estar apasionado, que pues, te guste de lo que está haciendo. Lo creo que haciendo lo mismo a toda vez, esto no va a traer nada para ustedes que para el mundo.
Mira, hay una pregunta que me parece que se relaciona con esto que dices. Y dicen, ¿qué es lo más difícil de iluminar una iglesia? Me imagino que estos primeros proyectos. ¿Cuál es el reto principal en la iluminación de proyectos de iglesias que has trabajado?
Lo creo que es la comprensión de que es un edificio que tiene algo que las personas utilizan y tiene necesidades visuales que tienen que dar cuenta, más además es simbólico, es algo que tiene que de alguna cosa la luz ayudar a traer esta otra dimensión, como que el misterio, la idea de jerarquía o todo lo que tú puedas traer para el edificio que no es común. Entonces yo creo que la combinación de los dos es difícil, pero no es imposible, porque las iglesias, las clásicas, tienen una arquitectura que casi parece que está pronta para recibir las luminarias. Sí, tienen hogares para esconderlas, todo está allí. Es solo observar y entender cómo hacer.
Y trato de entender un poco, retomando lo primero, que siempre está, sí, la función, la necesidad visual, pero está el concepto, siempre está ese ir más allá.
Sí, claro. Lo creo que he aprendido fuertemente con Diana esto. Lo creo que es lo que estaba procurando, ¿entiendes? Es como que no quiero hacer las cosas como hago todos los días, quiero ser diferente.
Muy distinto, ¿no?
Ajá.
Y fíjate que una tercera pregunta, y a los mexicanos nos gustan mucho este tipo de preguntas, y yo la planteo, alguien lo preguntó, dice, ¿te gustaría colaborar con algún arquitecto mexicano, algún proyecto aquí? ¿Con quién te gustaría colaborar en México? Les digo, son preguntas que nos gustan hacer en México, ¿no?
Sería un placer y honor, pero lo que pasa es que conozco los arquitectos más viejos.
Son los
en
mejores.
México. Los nuevos no tengo este placer, pero mis amigos como Víctor pueden decir.
Y me imagino, ¿no? Hablando un poco de los viejos, ¿no? Me imagino que para todos haber tenido, no lo digo por Víctor, no, estaba yo pensando, ¿no? En Luis Barragán, ¿no? Imagínense la oportunidad de haber podido trabajar con Luis Barragán, ¿no? En su momento, ¿no? Creo que están los viejos que nos referimos,
eso
¿no?
Sí, es como he dicho, Vigoreta, Barragán, sería un placer. Claro. Es interesante porque tenemos la oportunidad de trabajar en una casa que arquitectura de Vigoreta en Brasil. Es muy linda, es muy linda.
Y bueno, una cuarta y última pregunta que dice, ¿qué aspectos considerarías importantes para iluminar un espacio, pero con un enfoque de respeto a la biodiversidad? Me parece que esto en Brasil debe ser un tema sensible, la biodiversidad. ¿Cuáles son los aspectos a considerar importantes?
Lo creo que es muy difícil de hacer una lista, porque cada proyecto es un proyecto diferente y tiene la particularidad y las cosas que tienes que pensar, pero este proyecto del condominio es un ejemplo. Desde el principio, la idea de que tenemos que preservar el cielo oscuro fue un pensamiento desde el principio. Como he dicho, cuando estuve allá, he visto la naturaleza, claro, tenemos que hacer eso. Entonces, yo creo que es como que a cada proyecto tienes que, no sé cómo en español, pero mergullar, como que ir al fondo, sí, en todos los detalles, en todas las cosas que son inherentes a este proyecto, de saber en estos conceptos generales cómo que aplicar eso. Entonces, lo creo que no es una receta, es cada uno tiene que...
Cada caso hay que analizarlo, cada caso hay que detectarlo y
abrazar,
claro,
entender, tener tiempo. La pregunta que a veces no tenemos tiempo, sí, a veces no tenemos tiempo, pero siempre consigue dejar un tiempo de hacer algo diferente.
Mónica, muchísimas gracias. No quiero dejarte descansar un poco de el inglés y el
Esto es muy importante porque es interesante, porque mi inglés y español es mi lengua original. Es un esfuerzo, pero I hope that I passed the message for you. Thank you so much to listen. So, thank you.
Seguro que sí, y apreciamos mucho el esfuerzo. Muchas gracias por la clase.
Mónica, te queremos dar un reconocimiento.
Muchas gracias. Quisiera pasar.